I've been using the Mini 3 for quite some time now. Ever since we got here to the island of Oahu, I've been using this Mini 3 almost every single day to capture stunning cinematic footage and also to test out the different settings. Also to play around with the manual mode and also the auto mode, and I must say that I'm really impressed with the auto mode. A lot of people have also commented that they shoot with auto mode and don't even touch manual mode, and I can actually see why. The auto mode is very easy to use, and if used properly you can get some really crispy looking awesome cinematic videos with the Mini 3 Pro. But I'm going to run you through my settings that I use, and these are mostly the same settings that I use for every single drone that I fly except for the FPV drone. So without further ado, let's get over to the brand new RC controller and let's take a look at the settings that I've chosen to use with the Mini 3 Pro. Okay, so if we move over to the controller here and over to safety, this is where you can find the settings for the obstacle avoidance, and you can have the altitude and distance and so on. And it's raining. So we have the max distance, altitude, and return to home and all of that. But what we want to go over to is control. And inside control here, we can move over to the advanced gimbal settings. This is where you choose the settings for your gimbal on your Mini 3 drone, and any drone for that matter. But you have pitch speed, and you can also see on the top here, it says normal mode. If we scroll a bit down, we can see sports mode, and we can also see cine mode. So the cine mode is basically the slowest movement of the drone, and you can use this to capture some amazing cinematic videos. And this is really good by default, but for some people the drone are flying a little bit too slow. So what we're going to focus on is the most used mode. I think this is the most common mode that everyone is using, and this is the normal mode. Now for some shots you want to go over to cine mode, because if you want to reveal something coming from one side to the other of a cliff or a mountain or something, and you really want that slow movement, and if you want to film that in 4K HDR 24 or 30 FPS, then you might want to go with cine mode. Now if we take a look at the pitch speed here of the normal mode, I mostly fly normal mode, so that's what I'm going to cover in this. If you want the same type of settings for sports mode and cine mode, you can just change the different values here on the different modes. But for now, the normal mode here, for this I've set the pitch speed to 3 degrees per second. So if we take this up to, let's say, we can take it to 51 degrees per second, and if we go out and if we now tilt the gimbal upwards, you can see how fast that is going, and this is way too fast and not even a tiny bit cinematic at all. But if we go over and back to the settings menu here, and we go over to the pitch speed and take it down to 3, which is my main settings here, and we go back and we do the same thing. If we just take it a bit down here, and now we're going to go full out on the pitch wheel here, so we're going to take it all the way to the right, which is taking the gimbal upwards. So all the way to the right, and you can see how smooth and slow that is going. And some of you might ask, isn't this way too slow if you're going to move around and check if there's any obstacles in front of you or below you, depending on how you film? Well, you have this button, the C1, which is by default the camera angle down to 90 degrees and then straight forward. So if I tap on this, it goes straight down, and if I tap on this one more time, it goes straight forward. So let's say I have the gimbal and I've done my shoot here, and I have the gimbal tilted to about 20 degrees or something, and I want to reset it. So I want to fly straight forward, I want to see straight forward or downwards. Instead of having a faster pitch speed, I rather have a slow pitch speed, and then I can just use the C1 and I can go down, and then I can go up again, and now I see straight forward. And that's one of the things that I really love to have on my different drones, because it makes it so much easier to not always have to be super careful with the pitch wheel here on the controller. I rather have that going slow, and then I can just tilt it up and down depending on my needs. Now pitch smoothness here, this is also something that I set to 20. So if we take this to 0, and if we just go up and then we let go of the wheel, it just suddenly stops. So you want this to have a smooth ending. So once you let go, you want it to continue for a bit, and that's exactly what the pitch smoothness is doing. So I like to have this on 20 and or 15 to 20, depends really, but mostly 20. This is between 15 and 20 is what I have on my different drones here. So if we go down now, and if we go hard up, just maximum speed here, everything we got, and then we'll let go right now, you can see it continues to go upwards, and then it smoothens out to a stop. That's basically the settings, the gimbal settings for smooth cinematic movement that I use. So we have the pitch speed on 3 degrees per second, we have the pitch smoothness at 20, and the yaw rotation speed 80 degrees per second, and the yaw smoothness on 15. Now moving over to the next here, this is camera, and here we can see by default, I think this is looking just like this. We have the format MP4 and color normal, and coding format is H.264. I think this is by default. I can't really remember, I've been mixing them up so much by now, but the settings that I use for the videos that you have seen in this video and the videos that you will see now at the end of this video as well is MP4, decine-alike, and H.265. H.265 basically lowers the file size of your video as well, and makes it so much easier to work with in post-production. Whether you work on your iPhone, your iPad, or on your Mac, laptop, or your PC, computer, whatever that you edit with, H.265 makes it so much easier. For the remaining settings here, we have the anti-flickering, basically auto, we have histogram, always something that I keep on, and we have peaking level if you want to film in manual focus. This, if I'm going manual focus, I always keep it high, because then I really want the peaking and see what I'm focusing on. And we have the grids, and we also have the overexposure warning here, which is really nice to have on. So if I bring this up now, for the sake of this, I'm gonna change the gimbal pitch speed here, so it goes a little bit faster. So okay, we have it up there. You can see the zebras, right? The zebras on your screen here, these are the overexposure warning. So if we go over here and we go over to the camera again, and we go to the overexposure warning, if I put that off, we can see that we have no zebras in the sky. But if I enable this, we now have zebras in the sky. So there you have the exact same settings that I use for any of my drones. So if you like the way that I fly my drones and the way that I record cinematic videos with any of my drones, that's the exact same settings that I use. And also don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button if you want to see more content like this. That would be highly appreciated. Also check out RobHKvlogs.com if you're looking for LumaFusion presets, or if you want to check out my brand new masterclass where I teach you everything that I know about LumaFusion, how to create motion graphics, and how to create a video that stands out. Now, it would be wrong if I just showed you the settings that I use without showing you some true cinematic footage where I used the exact same settings. So for the next 30 seconds, you will see some cinematic footage captured here in Hawaii with the Mini 3 Pro.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky.
So I really hope that you enjoyed that cinematic sequence at the end here, and let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the footage, the settings, and this entire video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Sign up for the newsletter if you want some tips and tricks on video editing and also the latest product releases. Now, my 1 month review is coming up soon, and I'm diving pretty deep into that one to show you the pros and cons about this drone. But overall, it's starting to become my favorite drone of all time. I'm not sure if this is a part of that, but I will keep everything for the review. So that's gonna be everything for today. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure to head down to the description to find the latest Cinematic Mini 3 videos as well if you haven't seen them. And until next time, take care, and I will see you in the next video.
I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day, cause I found my way, I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay, cause I found my way.